Good evening, everyone. I am in a really good mood tonight. This is the BloomCast. It's the 9th of February. It is the 40th episode. And if you're wondering why I'm in a really good mood, well, maybe you weren't looking at the crypto news this last, 24 hours, really. It's only been 24 hours. The biggest news of possibly 2021 has already come out. This is the BloomCast. We're coming to you live from our living rooms, our dining rooms, maybe the back seats of our Tesla Model S's. Just kidding. No, we're not. Let me introduce the rest of the cast. Joining me tonight, Justin David, CEO of Bloom Solutions, Ramon Tayag, CTO of Bloom Solutions, and joining us, giving us some Ethereum knowledge, CTO of HaloDAO. Do you say Halo or Halo now, Chris?
Well, technically it should be Halo, but then people just say Halo, so whichever you want. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna go with the Tagalog version. It was supposed to be Halo Halo, right? That was kind of the idea behind it.
Yeah, but there was too many syllables, so we had to fit the DAO in there, right?
Right. Yeah. Okay, cool. Fair enough. So Chris Verceles of HaloDAO is joining us tonight. He was going to be talking about the Ethereum network, what's going on with the gas fees, all of that good stuff. But, I mean, obviously we're going to start with possibly the most important news of 2021, as I was saying earlier. And this is the part that I find kind of wonderful about preparing for the BloomCast every week. Like, the biggest news of the week happened literally 12 hours ago, or 24 hours ago, I guess, when basically this happened. So here we go. What happened here was, okay, actually, let's do this first, because I wanted to kind of just do a little bit of quick history from December. No? So back in December, and you can see the date here, December 21, CZ from Binance says, Tesla/Elon Musk will buy crypto. Just a matter of time. This is one of the few predictions I am happy to put my name on. The real question is, do you want to be before or after them? So just kind of put it out there. And then very funny, Peter Schiff. How do we describe Peter Schiff? What's the correct way to describe this guy?
Old fart.
Is he like a professional Bitcoin hater? Like, I feel like that's kind of what he is, no? He just hates everything about Bitcoin. So he replies to CZ and he says, Musk is far too smart to be dumb enough to buy Bitcoin. It's just a matter of time before you realize that too. So this was.
He wasn't even tweeted to, right? He's just jumping in, right?
Yeah, he was just jumping in. The dude is kind of a professional troll also.
Yeah.
Kasi he knows it. He knows that, look at how many retweets he got.
Yeah.
He got 400 retweets on this.
I think Twitter is everyone's marketing tool nowadays. Doesn't matter what you're replying or saying. A lot of these guys have intentions to brand, whatever. No?
Right. No, I think that sounds about right. That sounds right. And Peter Schiff, like, the bigger Bitcoin has become, weirdly enough, the more reach he has. Because it's like this guy who just fucking hates Bitcoin so much.
He's on
so weird.
Right?
Yeah.
He's on the boat. Yeah. He wants the action, yeah.
Yeah, right. So what happened yesterday? So I was having a quiet dinner Monday night, minding my own business, and suddenly I see the Bitcoin price shoot up about 10%. Typically, when stuff like that happens these days, you know that there's news involved. And it's usually going to be, kind of like it takes a lot, to move the Bitcoin price 10% in about 15 minutes. It takes a lot. So I knew that there was going to be news, so I jumped on Twitter, and I saw that that Tesla had filed that they had bought $1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin. And as you can probably imagine, the price had some immediate impact. What do you guys think about this move? Like, I know that obviously we're very happy, no? So like, just here in the Decrypt article, it actually says the crypto industry was quick to react. Yes, everyone is as happy as you'd expect. So, and there are a lot of people who are talking about this now, and they're saying, it was inevitable that Elon Musk was going to do this. Do you guys think that, like, we know that he's been pumping crypto a lot recently. What are your thoughts? What were your initial reactions to this news last night, Justin? I assume you saw it in real time as it was happening.
Yeah, I mean, not coincidence, right? That he is the last few months or the last couple of weeks has been tweeting. He's been active about tweeting Dogecoin and all those other cryptocurrencies, right? The Bitcoin, Twitter bio update and all that sort of stuff. That's not, the richest person in the world doesn't do that without intention. And like,
Right.
for companies to do this, they have to decide at least 6 months before they actually do it. So this was in the
At
works
least.
already. At least that's my understanding. The SEC laws in the US, you need to you start in your board 6 months with a proposition like this. My thoughts is obviously it's very good. I think again, like I think we mentioned last week, no, that the crypto industry, or at least the tech industry, or this space, the digital space, they prefer somebody like an Elon to be like their poster boy, rich person,
Yeah.
leading the charge, just because of his profile,
So-
right? Everything.
Yeah. You're right. Yeah.
So you think that conversation between Saylor and Elon Musk about maybe late last year when Elon was asking about Bitcoin in public, you think that 5 months before that they had already filed to buy?
Even Sailor's roadshow yesterday, in the weekend, right, for his playbook. That's all. That's all baked in. That's got to be all baked in. There's no kind of, the perfect sales kind of reaction for the people you sold on that show, right? Who would have bought in with their treasury balance sheets. They would have been all sold in to buy then, and then this happens. It's like, holy crap, what a great buy, what a great time. And then that just permeates off, right? So definitely think that they're all somewhat at least, whispering to each other.
I mean, they gotta, yeah. So Elon Musk doesn't necessarily have to inform Michael Saylor or any of these other executives that he's gonna make a move, no. But like the reason why he was making himself more and more visible, I think, was because he knew that he had influence. I mean, the dude has 45 million followers on Twitter, richest man in the world, depending on what the Tesla stock looks like. So like, yeah. I definitely agree that there was a plan there. He wasn't just like screwing around because it was funny. Although sometimes it feels that way, no? It feels like he's kind of
He's very
trolling
good,
us.
right?
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
What do you think,
I'm
Chris?
guessing he also took out that Bitcoin from his profile because of potential problems,
Right.
with I don't know if it's something even SEC covers, but whatever. Maybe he was like, it's not worth it.
What about you, Chris? Did you see this news as it was happening last night?
Yeah, no. I mean, just like everyone else, I guess I'm glued to my phone and my screen like every 2 minutes, hoping I'm a billionaire. But yeah, yeah, but no. I don't know. I just personally found it weird that the guy who helped build PayPal to be the first digital bank didn't have Bitcoin sooner, and I would be personally surprised if he hasn't just been pumping it little by little over the last 2 or 3 bull runs. So I mean, maybe the company bought, but I think he had some way before. I mean, if you build a digital bank, then you get Bitcoin, right? So. Yeah.
I mean, that's a very good point there. Like, I forgot to mention that naunahan si Elon ng PayPal itself, no, to support Bitcoin openly, just by a few months, but it was pretty significant. So I wonder if parang like he's no longer associated at all, no. He's not on the board. He's not on any steering committees or anything like that. Yeah, so he wouldn't have known necessarily that PayPal was doing it. It just seems like, for some reason, perfect storm, no? It just kind of all happened at the same time.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mon, did you have any other thoughts about this?
Well, I mean, you didn't bring up also that they're thinking of accepting it for payment for Tesla cars.
Right.
Yeah,
Yes.
that'll be cool.
Yes.
And perhaps even paying over Lightning every time when you charge, like per minute or even per second, it works, right? And it's funny that it's called Lightning also, and you charge your battery.
Nice.
But I just want to put it out there, put out feelers to the public that, and maybe it'll get to Elon's ear that it'll be awesome also if he accepts Bitcoin for payments for SpaceX Starlink, right? And just allow the Bitcoin data to pass freely through the network as well. That would be awesome.
Yeah, right.
I mean, my question
So-
is why Bitcoin? Why not a stable coin?
So here's why I think it's Bitcoin and why I think it's a great idea, right? Because
Go for it.
pretty soon it's going to be really hard to source Bitcoin, right? As this just gets older and older, more people are just of the mindset of hodling. And the next thing you do, if you can't buy it off an open exchange anymore, you're just going to exchange goods for it. So these companies that are starting to say that, oh, I'll exchange you, there's going to be a point. I still think that's an uphill battle because it's hard to change people's mind about spending their Bitcoin. I, for one, would
Right.
not sell Bitcoin for a Tesla,
Yeah.
even at
Yeah.
a 50% discount on the Tesla.
Well,
So-
I mean, so the range on a Tesla right now is somewhere between 1 and 3 BTC. So 1 is the cheapest Model 3, and then 3.3 BTC roughly is kind of fully loaded Model S, kind of with all the bells and whistles.
X,
Yeah.
But
I'm not.
you know what it takes to get people to let go of their Bitcoin, right? Just the price has to go higher, and then someone will be willing to do so. As with
true,
any
too.
of these crypto assets.
It will be, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder though if like so yeah, I mean I agree parang conceptually na ano nga, parang eventually kasi you will let go of your Bitcoin if it's like I don't know, like pick a number,
Everyone's got a
right?
price,
$1
yeah.
million. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like-
everyone will
but
have
what
a
if
price.
what if you are the kind of person who has enough disposable income that you never need to let go of your Bitcoin? Like, what about those? What was the number that you were saying, Justin? There's like 16 million millionaires in the United States alone.
No, China alone, right? not even
yeah, okay.
not even China. So there's not
Right.
even enough Bitcoin to go, one
Yeah.
Bitcoin for every millionaire in
Right,
the
right.
world, right? So
Right.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
so
know
what
what you're,
about-
you're
what
saying.
happens?
Yeah. So I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
I think I think these people who are starting to buy in, they're not in this for the. I mean, maybe there is, they are looking for it to go to 1 million and sell off and that sort of stuff. But I think the stronger narrative for them is the fact that their current treasury positions, which is in US dollars, is more likely to devalue, right? So it's more kind of like, I'm going to shift to something that at least won't devalue the way USD might just all of a sudden crash out of the picture, right? So I think
So it's
that's more.
defensive.
Yeah. Because I mean, I don't think. I mean, there will be. I think as these institutions come into play, it's going to be a funny market. I'm really excited to see, but we're going to see ups and downs because these institutions, they got to rebalance and all that sort of like month end sort of balancing stuff once this stuff is on their balance sheet. So you're going to naturally see ups and downs in it. It's not just going to be always going up. So I think. For them, the narrative that's the strongest, and it's happened in the last year, is that not so much that they'll make a ton of money out of Bitcoin, but that they won't lose as much if they
Right.
keep USD.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So definitely defensive.
Yeah, that's the word.
So here's one of the sites that we were kind of talking about like months ago, no? BitcoinTreasuries.org. And what this site does is it lists down all of the publicly listed companies that have bought some Bitcoin and added it to their treasury. Now, Tesla's not here yet. And there's a very specific reason why Tesla is not here. It's because in their SEC filing, they never actually said how many Bitcoin they bought. They just said how much money they spent. So because of that, hindi kompleto yung listing. So we know how much MicroStrategy bought. We know what their cost basis was. We know that they spent a total of $1.1 billion, which is now $3.2 billion. Just a freaking amazing multiplier on that. But we don't know how Tesla was even doing the buying, no? There's one theory that I thought was very interesting. Tesla didn't even reveal if they were potentially just buying through Grayscale. So they could have just bought Grayscale Bitcoin, which is not, like they wouldn't have gone to the open market for that. So it's kind of interesting. I don't know why they didn't choose to reveal that. But because of that, we don't know tuloy where they are on this list. We don't know if they own 0.5 of all of the Bitcoin in existence or less than MicroStrategies.
Yeah.
No idea, right? We have no idea. And ang laki pa naman nung difference between the price in early 2020 and like the price now, no? So like there's a massive differences in calculations.
Or even if you let's say from the moment that this was 6 months earlier, right? That this was originally thought of. What was the price 6 months ago? It still would have been very small, right? So it is a big range. Yeah, we're still there,
something
no?
like that, right? Yeah, it's like 10
I
or
guess we had
maybe 13 or something.
Yeah.
Parang ganun eh. So yeah, like your math would be so off depending on which price you think it was. So anyway, we're still waiting. We're still waiting for that little bit of information. Let's look at what happened to the market cap since last week. We are well over $1 trillion. We were just shy of $1 trillion when we ended the show last week. We are now at $1.3 trillion. Obviously, the Bitcoin price has a big effect on that. It was the one that was kind of pulling everything up. But then, like, the market is very, very green at the moment. So this is where we're at. Oh, does everyone remember what their bets were last week when we were betting on the Bitcoin price?
Yeah, about that. Yeah.
So
I was 37.5.
Okay.
But this reminds me of what Michael Sater said, right? Like
yeah.
all your models are destroyed the moment like a company decides to buy it.
Yeah. Justin, where were you at? So
I was
Ramon was
way
at
below
37.5. Yeah, where were you?
30, I think around what we were this time last week, which is 32. I didn't say we were going to move.
Ouch. Okay. All right. So I was pretty optimistic. I mean, granted, I was basing that on nothing. I just wanted the price to go up. So I was saying 41, and super layo pa rin. Like I think that was it. I think that was the highest bet we did. So I'm not sure if there was anyone in the chat who was kind of parang aiming for a very high number. I don't remember seeing anyone say 47 or 48 or anything like that in the chat last week. What do you guys think the Bitcoin price is going to be next week? And for the benefit of, because Chris is with us, we will also do one for Ethereum. Although I'm sure my Ethereum prediction is going to be like complete crap.
We don't do Ethereum every week.
No, unfortunately we don't. But we should. Maybe we should. It's equally important. So I don't know if you've got a number in your head already, Chris, but like Justin or Ramon, whoever won already has like a bet for next Tuesday. What do you think the Bitcoin price and or the Ethereum price is going to be? That's the day after Valentine's.
I say,
something
okay.
like that.
I'm gonna go with 49. Okay, not too crazy.
And
What?
Yeah.
that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah,
I was
not
gonna
crazy.
say, I was gonna say around that. So I'll say, can I say 49,
Yeah.
48, 500, something like that?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
As long as there's 1% difference at least.
Yeah.
Yeah. So pasok
think
pa.
that's,
Wow,
no,
dude,
that's a
$500. $500
I
is
wanted
a
to say
1%.
49. I wanted to say 49.
Okay.
I
So
don't
in
know.
other
And for
words,
Ether,
yes, 1,700 right now.
No,
1.7. I'm gonna go 1.8.
Okay, so a little higher. So wait, do you guys think that we will hit or exceed 50K anytime this week?
I mean, unless
so.
Amazon all of a sudden starts saying they're buying Bitcoin, I think we better.
What was it?
They
Apple
don't.
rumored
Well,
to
Apple,
be
dude,
like
it's Apple.
preparing. Yeah.
It's
Man,
Apple now.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a while. Like, I don't think like for those big ones. I mean, like your Apple, your really big
Hey,
ones,
but Tesla's
Amazon,
big.
and stuff like that.
Tesla
I mean,
is
like
big.
market cap wise, it's Elon, right? So I don't know. I feel like they gotta. The language has to change for them. It can't be like Michael Saylor, tweets that they buy in on, right?
I mean, I will say that parang if you compare the personalities of CEO Tim Cook from Apple and Elon Musk, I mean, these are very, very different people. These are not, diba? Like, I don't think Tim Cook even uses Twitter. So, like, I'm not sure. Like, parang I find the Apple rumor a little hard to parang really, really trust. But that'll be I feel that's basically the last one, diba? Like if you can get either Amazon or Apple,
No,
I think that's-
I'll say ETF before either of those companies. So I say
okay,
ETF
okay.
gets approved.
US
US
ETF.
US ETF gets approved before either of those companies.
Okay, yeah, that sounds
Well,
reasonable.
Well,
That sounds
maybe
reasonable.
maybe Jeff Bezos left Amazon because he bought, a bunch of Bitcoin, and Amazon also has, and they're gonna announce it soon.
Okay, well,
Nice. Okay, sige. Well, I mean,
that'd be
Bezos does what Elon does, right? I mean, it's like this competition between these billionaire CEOs. So I don't know. Maybe you're right there. Okay, sige. So
gosh.
so Mon, you were 49, and then 1,800 Ether. Justin, you were 48.5, and then what Ether?
I'll say one nine. Did somebody say 19?
Okay.
No.
No one said 19. Okay, so
1,900.
all time high, definitely all time high.
Yep.
And then no. Okay, cool. Okay, Chris Verceles, Bitcoin price and Ethereum price for next week. That's February 16th.
Assuming no company buys. I'm not a trader.
Well,
I'm
we
not
don't
a trader,
know this.
but
We don't know this.
okay, I'd say 40K Bitcoin and 2,000 ETH.
Wow! What the fuck? Okay.
I mean, I'm
Sige,
always going high
explain.
on ETH, right? Like, I'm
Sige,
always
sige.
bull on
But
ETH,
explain the 40K on the Bitcoin.
Correction.
I can't explain it in TA. I would say it's correction, but I would say the liquidity is going to flow to ETH and altcoins. Because, I mean, if you look at DeFi, it's like,
Yeah.
Why?
it's
What's happening
way
with ETH?
fast.
What's happening in ETH?
Yeah, man. What's happening? What's happening?
Why would
Tell
they
us.
flow
It's about
there?
to go deflationary. It's about to go deflationary. So,
Okay. Sige, actually, you know what? So we do have like I was planning on doing that conversation next episode, but like, do you think that so you're talking about that EIP, no? God, what's the number? I can never remember the number. EIP
155 something. I forgot.
1559. 1559. Yeah, that's it. Okay. And that's the one where it will start burning ETH
Yeah.
as it's being mined. Something like
Wow.
that? Tama ba?
Gas fees would burn straight from the ETH supply. So,
Right. Okay. What are the odds that this actually gets? It seems contentious. Like when I was reading through it, it seemed contentious. Do you think it's gonna actually get pushed through?
and like, I'm speaking the perspective of someone who builds on top of ETH and is not the one like pushing these proposals and just lightly watching it. I think it will go through. It makes a lot of sense.
Okay.
In terms of gas fees, it really wouldn't change much in terms of the app developers. But I mean, just DeFi tokens, Polkadot launching on Ethereum as an MVP and then going to Polkadot later on. And I think that's just all building the momentum of ETH way more than it is for Bitcoin. So,
Okay.
I mean, you know what they say, like ETH is a cycle behind Bitcoin. Yeah. So,
Well, I think.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, more than that, I also think that the Ethereum community is way more organized than the Bitcoin community. The Bitcoin community is true chaos. So the fact that this stuff is actually happening and it feels like, it's in the proper sequence, that's randomness. That's just randomness. Whereas with the Ethereum, and it's because you've got figureheads and you've got these people that are kind of very well respected, that are kind of at the tops of these things. It does feel like there's a little bit more structure to the way they approach things, and that's why mas malinis yung marketing nila or the way they promote, I guess. Okay, so that's interesting. So 40,000 Bitcoin, 2,000 Ether. I like
I'm
that
biased,
you're
though.
in the. No, but that's like
I'm very
biased.
biased. I
That's
have,
the
I have
point.
some margin. I have some margin trades on ETH, so it better go to 2,000.
Oh wow.
Okay. Ooh, ballsy.
Oh
Okay,
gosh.
sige.
There's no SEC viewers today, do we? Like no, it's okay.
I don't know actually. Wait, sige, let's look at some of the.
Oh,
let's look
you're
at
gonna-
what
you're
the
gonna
people in
GameStop
chat
me.
are saying. Yeah. 50K Bitcoin, 2K Ether. Okay, in order for this to happen, that means that there's gonna be a shit ton of new money that is entering the crypto industry because the money that is in there cannot support 50K Bitcoin and 2,000 Ether. Like, it has to be new money. So it has to be something.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's gonna be as large as Tesla, but parang yeah, it can't just be. You can't just move market cap from the altcoins over to Bitcoin. It's not gonna be enough to push the price that much. But that's a pretty good. That's a pretty good bet. I've got like one really funny one here that is kind of even weirder than yours, Chris. So 35K for Bitcoin.
I like this guy.
2,500. Holy crap.
Okay.
Okay.
Add you on
In
Facebook.
that case, get your dollars ready, boys, because if Bitcoin goes down, like you should get ready to buy if that's actually what happens.
And the flow is
Aldrin-
like Bitcoin, Ethereum, then alts, right? So I guess
Right,
generally, if you want to be up against Bitcoin, it's pretty safe to park some things in alts. Safe, not safe, but
Yeah,
for a time. Yeah.
Aldrin Rabino in the chat is saying Chinese New Year. So don't forget, guys, Chinese New Year is this Friday, no? And typically, so the reason why we talk about it is because traditionally, and I'm just saying traditionally, like in the last few years, when Chinese New Year hits, Bitcoin, or actually I should say like the entire cryptocurrency industry, the prices all dump. And the reason for that is because it used to be that it was Chinese retail traders that was kind of, holding the most amount of this stuff. And they go on vacation, they want to, spend their money. They want to liquidate their holdings. So what happens? Well, the price goes down. No, and that's traditionally been very, very consistent every Chinese New Year. But do you think it's the same now? Because parang I don't get that impression. Kasi like I don't feel like China is the big parang reason for the price pumps anymore. Like Mon, Justin, Chris, what do you guys think about that?
You're right. I don't feel like they're the reason it's been pumping anymore. We even talked about China being the reason that it was going sideways because they've been selling. I mean, these are all rumors, obviously. But you know how it is with models, also, right? Like if people expect that to happen, then they're gonna front run it,
Yeah,
and it's gonna
true too.
change.
That's true too. Yeah. Chris, is this the kind of thing that you observe? Like how conservative will you be this Friday or leading up to this Friday with your like what are you doing in the order books?
No, for me, like I'm not a trader at all. Like I say over and over again. So what I've done is I've just placed like a certain allocation of Bitcoin to ETH to DeFi alts to whatever, and it's just all heavy ETH. And Bitcoin is like my fourth token, and I haven't moved any
Whoa.
of that in terms of
Okay.
allocation or percentage of my allocation since October last year. So I pretty much sit heavy alts, and I just let it go up against Bitcoin, and then I just place it in interest earning stuff on DeFi, and that's it.
A quick question, and you feel free to be vague with your answer, Chris. What's the proportion of your holdings? Just ratio of your top
It's like
3 or 4 or something?
Yeah. What is it? Let me check my dashboard. I don't know the
So
quite.
just share your screen. You want to share your screen? Here, let me...
All right, share my screen. Show you my private key and my seed phrase.
Yeah.
It's like 40% ETH.
Okay.
In between that are some random tokens you may not know about. Like API 3 is a pretty big one. That's my second one. And that's like
Don't know what that is. Okay.
It's sort of like a chain link, not competitor, but it's going after the
Okay.
same market as Chainlink is, but in a different way.
Sige.
Bitcoin,
Okay.
no, actually, Polkadot is higher. Bitcoin is my fourth. Polkadot is my
Okay.
third. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's heavy DeFi. Super high risk. Bitcoin's probably safer. Yeah, you should probably have number one Bitcoin, but yeah,
Okay. No, cool.
Yeah,
No,
I think it's success because I think maybe a month or two ago you came in and said you had no Bitcoin. So awesome.
No, because the moment alts go up, then I cascade down to ETH and Bitcoin. So that's why.
Right.
Yeah,
that makes sense. In the chat, Angel Cabrera is asking, why no more kimchi premium? So Justin, you and I were talking about this morning. Remember, I was saying that actually the prices are low in Korea right now by about 5%. No, like I don't know what's going on there either. But it's a big gap.
Sellers. A lot of the Korean market's been around for a long time. One of the earlier kind of center points for Bitcoin trading, right? So especially in 2017. So you got to know that a lot of action, a lot of buyers from 2017 would have been holding their positions. And when they see this is what 20,000 is when they peaked. This is double that now. So they're taking, they're selling
Taking
their
profit.
positions. Yeah, they're taking profit, and that's why the premium's gone down. There's a lot of sellers.
Yeah,
Makes
so it's
sense.
weird though.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could actually just buy Bitcoin pretty cheaply in South Korea if you had South Korean banking, I guess, and then sell it anywhere here in the Philippines, even, diba? Because like a 5% arbitrage difference is pretty good. If you can find a way to do that over and over again. By the way, this is not financial advice, but like lots of people were trying to do that.
Bit hard.
Anytime that there
Travel
is
bans.
a gap, it's not easy to pull it off. Not
It used to be easy, but not anymore.
But yeah, so ayun, just so you guys know, it is cheap in Korea. Yeah, not so much anywhere else. So there you go. Okay, let's go back. The kind of the growth in Bitcoin's price has put it at number 7th largest asset in the world, no, by market cap, above Tesla itself, which I thought was kind of funny. The Tesla was kind of the reason why Bitcoin's price went up so much, but like it's now greater in total value than Tesla. And if you look at the rest of the companies above it, it gets cut off. My screenshot gets cut off, but number 1 is Apple. So it's Apple, Microsoft, and then the fossil fuels company from Saudi, and then Amazon, Alphabet, Tencent, and then Bitcoin. So this is a pretty nice little thing to look at. Like, I don't know where we were like 3 years ago, 4 years ago. I don't think we were even in the top 50, to be honest. But we're here now, kids. So
Yeah, this is
pretty cool.
it's cool. I mean, I like seeing this, but it's a bit weird because you throw in Bitcoin. It's not a company, so shouldn't you put in
Yes.
gold and other
Yeah,
stuff?
yeah. So
Yeah, yeah.
we're not counting other things. And also,
Yeah.
just as quickly
I
as we
know.
got there,
It's weird.
this as quickly as we got to 7, this could be, back to whatever it was before by tomorrow
Yeah.
morning, right?
Yeah,
So I'd like to
sure.
see it in a weekly kind of 7 spot before we institutionalize Bitcoin as a top 10
Yeah.
mainstayer kind of thing, no?
Right.
But
Yeah, for
it's
sure.
amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
So on the right side of the screen, I've got like a very, very green bunch of assets. Basically, everything was green when I took this screenshot. I'm not sure if it's all still green until now, though. But like, I took this morning when I was preparing for the show. So
Pretty much, man.
Dogecoin, dude. Dogecoin is back at 8 cents. What the fuck? Like, it lost half of its value after the Wall Street bets pump, and then now it's back up because Elon Musk and then someone else, was it Snoop Dogg? And
He
then
did that freaking
who's
tweet.
the other
Did he?
guy?
The picture, Elon.
What? Yeah.
Where was
The
the
Circle
Lion
of
King
Life
one?
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Lion King one. Yeah. Yeah. So a whole bunch of other celebrities are jumping in. Kasi so you've got Snoop Dogg. You've got, I don't know if it was Gene Simmons from Kiss, but like you've got all of these
Yeah.
celebrities kind of pouring out of the woodwork to pump Dogecoin. Mon, do you know what the technical underpinnings of Dogecoin is? Like, it's a fork of Bitcoin, right?
Yeah, it's a fork of Bitcoin. I mean, I don't go out of my way to keep myself updated with the tech of Doge, but I came across a few tweets, and from what I understand, they're like the mining hash rate equivalent of like 4 ASIC miners on Doge. They
Wow.
make like millions of, like maybe 1 million Doge a day, something ridiculous, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Nice.
I mean, but no
Nice.
one is buying because of the tech or
Yeah.
any monetary
Yeah.
principles.
Yeah.
It's just for the lulls.
Yeah. I mean, it works. It worked enough to get them back to 8 cents, which I think is a pretty big achievement. If you remember, a month ago they were at 1 cent, or 1.5 cents, something like that. So medyo, big difference. Based on, it's basically like a pump that is built primarily on social media, just
Yeah.
tweets,
But you know what?
Reddit, things like that.
Maybe I shouldn't say people are buying for the lulls. Like, there are a lot of people who are just buying it to ride the wave, and they're using it to accumulate more Bitcoin.
who is there anyone in the chat who owns Dogecoin? And no judgment if you do actually own Dogecoin. If you're in the chat and you own Dogecoin, please say so, because I want to know if there's anyone here who's actually bought. Justin, have you bought Dogecoin?
No, gosh, no.
Oh, I'm not
I've
even
not.
gonna ask Mon. I know that he hasn't.
No.
Chris,
I have it
is
in a
there?
multi-sig wallet.
Nice. Okay. Jeez. Chris, Dogecoin.
Uh,
Anyone?
I had it like 4 years ago. Then I just didn't care about it and lost the keys. But maybe it's worth a lot now. I don't know.
No. Okay. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
actually have 500 pesos worth of Dogecoin.
Oh, nice.
There you go.
I'm happy to admit that. So who has Dogecoin here? So you've got Jonathan. He's saying he has 1,000. Okay, pretty good. Paul Gabriel. Okay, all right. So there's a few people who have. That's cool.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing, guys.
And these like
Alvin
meme
Rabino
tokens. Yeah.
Yeah,
These meme tokens, they just pop up every narrative, don't they?
Right. Pretty much.
Yeah.
Doge is for fun, pero hindi pa din piniling bilhin. Haha, shill Doge by BTC. Elon Musk. Okay. All right. Yeah. Fair enough. Okay. Let's see. I was just like, dude, you've got like people are actually telling me how much Doge they have. I have 9K.
I know,
I
and
have
those don't look
1K.
like suits. Those don't look like pseudonyms either.
Yeah, like okay, all right. Well, I just wanted to know, guys, if you had any. Please don't tell me exactly how much you do have. This just not safe. Anyway, okay. Before we get to like Chris's part of the show, I wanted to kind of talk about just this one piece now. So, the CEO of BDO, favorite bank ever, Nestor Tan, kind of made the headlines last week, and he says because of this talk that he gave, the headline was that he thinks that digitalization is overplayed. I'm just gonna read a little bit, para we get a sense of what we're talking about. So from his speech, he said, "I think the concept of digital is a little bit overplayed because we are in a situation wherein we're seeing our basic habits change. That instead of going through the ATM, we go through the mobile phone or computer, and that is good. That is where we're supposed to go." But then he goes on and he says, "How many of us would be comfortable getting a mortgage digitally? How many of us are really comfortable making sure that our documents are digital without us having to hold anything to prove that the transaction did occur?" So I'm just going to stop right there because this is really relevant to people in the industries that we're working in, maybe even more so in the industry where Chris is working in because he actually works with smart contracts. Have you read this article, Chris? Like, what were your thoughts when I just kind of pulled that out?
Sorry, I just read Rafael Padilla's attorney Raf's comment. Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, that must be a good comment.
You got
You know,
something? Can you?
Is it
Yeah.
here? Here? There you go.
Override, please. Okay.
So
Maybe.
that is a very common thing that you will hear in BDO branches. Yeah. Sige. So Chris, thoughts on this?
I mean, he's speaking as someone who just grew up with paper, right? And like as millennials, generations after us, we don't care anymore. For us, having a transaction record on Etherscan or Bitcoin transaction is good enough, right? We feel safe, but they just don't. But I guess that reflects BDO's roadmap.
And this is their customer base. I think he's preaching to them, right? And this is
Exactly.
kind of like I'm gonna hold on to you guys for as long as I can. That's the sort of feeling that I'm getting from this, where because this is the sort of that's their strong suits, loans, right? With and physical locations, because that's the type of customers that they have. So.
I honestly I mean, I haven't had a passbook in a while now, but like that continues to be part of the identity of a BDO account holder. No, that's still kind of key to their thing, like a little book that gets printed on to update your balance. I don't know.
Yeah.
Mon,
That's
what
their
were your thoughts on
ledger.
this?
Well, you know, I mean, yeah, you're right.
It is,
That's
honestly.
how people know.
Diba?
That's what they see BDO as, and that's the same reason I left, right? Because I also knew it would take like 50 years for them to be as modern as the other banks. So no
Right.
point in waiting.
Yeah. BDO always finds dumb ways. What was your parang one of my favorite BDO announcements ever was that even internal transfers from one BDO account to another would actually be charged.
Yeah.
BPI does that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my
Let's be
god.
fair. So does BPI.
Yeah.
BPI as well.
Okay.
Oh my
all right.
gosh. Yeah. But to be fair, an Ethereum transaction is more than 100 pesos right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Be fair. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, all right. So let's not let the pot call the kettle black. I mean,
Bitcoin
pucha,
can
yung
take a
mga
week
transaction
to get
fees
to
nga
you.
natin eh.
Really low fees.
Just
Bitcoin can
keep
get
pressing
a week.
cancel until it happens.
Okay. Is it a fair thing to? Well, wait. So, if you wanted to make this comparison, dapat bank to bank, not internal. I think because like an internal transaction. Let's say I don't know what's an internal transaction in the crypto world. I guess Binance to Binance. That's free, right? I mean, surely that's free, right? I'm pretty sure that's free.
It depends if you
Anyway.
press the right button. I've tried the withdrawal to another Binance account by mistake because I've never done it before, and then it charged me the 0.05 ETH withdrawal fee. Yeah,
You
Yeah.
fucked that up.
Yeah.
User error.
I did.
Okay. Anyway, so I just wanted to kind of bring this up because I just feel like so now here on the BloomCast we talk about Union Bank a lot, mostly because it's kind of our primary banking partner. There's a reason for that, no? And there's a reason why we don't usually work with BDO. It's partially because of this. It's partially because they're very conservative when it comes to things like cryptocurrencies and other things that they don't want to risk. And yun, parang I think what will happen, what we're hoping is going to happen, is that the more progressive banks, and this is not just Union Bank, no, there are other banks also that are also interested to kind of get into this stuff. I think that they'll have their time in the sun because these very conservative traditional players, they don't want to move. And the fact that he continues to sing the praises of a passbook in an era where like we're doing things through QR codes and like blockchains and stuff like that, I just find that to be kind of sad, actually. So ayun, that's my thought on that. So Jedrick is saying BDO to BDO is free na, BPI to BPI to provincial is a joke, 50 pesos. Whoa, what the fuck?
BDO to BDO is free, limited to 50K. Diba? Unless you've enrolled them. And here's the hilarious part of enrolling a BDO account to your account online. No? You're limited to like 30, I think. And once you create the enrollment on your app, you have to go to the ATM and put in your ATM card, and it spits you out a code that you have to input, and that takes a day. So it's like
Wow.
whitelisting.
Yeah. Jesus Christ, what the hell?
It's like a manual whitelisting.
Yeah,
I will say
okay.
though, okay, for BDO, they still do give the best Christmas giveaways. So yun lang, that's parang if you want to stay.
Like, did you get a BDO sando? What did you get from BDO last?
No, I got an air purifier. So
Oh, that's handy.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Wow.
so 2020.
an air purifier. So
That's
yeah.
so 2020.
Yeah,
Okay. All right. Okay.
It's
cool.
BDO yield farming.
Yeah, you could resell the air purifier. Hopefully, you'll make back all those fees that they've charged you over the years.
Same thing with the tokens. So, yeah.
Yeah, pretty good. Okay, sige. All right, let's move on. Okay, other big news last week: Ethereum blockchain records 1 billion transactions, first time ever. When I was trying to prepare this part in the show, I was struggling to find the number of Bitcoin transactions that have been ever confirmed. If anyone in the chat can look that up for me really quickly, I'd really appreciate it. I just wanted to be able to compare kasi so Ethereum obviously a lot younger, no? Ethereum only went live in 2015, so it's only been around for a little over 5 years. But they just hit 1 billion transactions as of February 6th, a few days ago. If anyone knows how many transactions the Bitcoin network has done in that same time, I'd be pretty interested. So I'll just read it really quickly. The Ethereum blockchain went live in 2015, we know that. in May 2017, it broke 100,000 daily transactions for the first time. Then 1 million in January 2018 as the price rose to then record highs above $1,000. Chris, you're the guy who spends the most time working with the Ethereum blockchain. I assume you've felt the the congestion on the blockchain these past few months. I mean, like we've been talking about this since the BloomCast started. I think like we've constantly been talking about the gas fees. Has it felt like it's worse and worse for you, or like what's the situation?
Yeah, no, it feels pretty bad. I don't know if you guys have tried like a smart contract interaction recently with DeFi or whatever app. I don't know, but then just the other day I was spending $100 on a transaction. So
Wow,
it's
okay.
not good, and that was just to withdraw it. So BDO is much cheaper by comparison right now. But yeah, but I mean that's why layer 2 is coming, right? And I guess we'll talk about that later.
Okay. We're waiting for Nestor Tan to save us with his way lower fees. Nice.
Yeah, exactly. That's not a good thing, but it's improving.
Alright. Okay.
Yeah.
Sige, so over the course of the show, we're gonna talk about a bunch of different things about this, no? Like, sorry, Mon, were you able to was there any chance that you were able to look up how many Bitcoin transactions?
Oh no, I don't know. I mean, I'll look right now while Chris talks because
Okay.
I won't have much to share about Ethereum.
Okay. All right. Sige. So, so like what Chris was saying, he spent like $100 on gas fees for a particular smart contract, and so it's not just his imagination; it is definitely very high. This chart shows you how much was paid to various blockchains over the last 24 hours. I think this chart is from yesterday, no, Chris? $34 million was spent in Ethereum. So it's like 7 times more than what was spent on Bitcoin. And then weirdly enough, Dogecoin is the number 3, and that is slightly weird. But yeah, Dogecoin just like keeping itself relevant, I guess, no matter what the conversation is. But really, it's just the two big guys, no? So Bitcoin and Ethereum, like massive amounts of gas fees. The average Bitcoin transaction right now, at least from my personal experience, is in the $15 to $20 range. So it's getting kind of pricey also. But it seems like with Ether,
Is that confirmation
like
in like the next 30 minutes?
no naman. Next block. So if you want to hit next block, you got to be paying at least $20, I think, right now, equivalent. At least that's what I've been seeing. Yun. And then if you're pulling from an exchange, obviously 0.0005 is roughly what is that right now? It's about $20 also. So parang the fees are just getting kind of crazy, to be honest. So
Yeah. And like most of that's because of like Uniswap, right? Uniswap
Right.
and yeah, I think Tether was the second one burning the most gas on Ethereum. And the reason behind that is that I mean Uniswap is like becoming the go-to place to launch your token. So instead of let's say an ICO from like 3-4 years ago, was it 3-4 years? Yeah. They're calling it an IDO, an initial DEX offering, is where immediately after their sale, there are several rounds of sale or single round, they just make a liquidity pool on Uniswap and then everyone throws liquidity in. I think Mark was on the show last time I was as well, and he said, or was that through chat? Like he said he put up a pool with a token for tag, and then all of a sudden liquidity came in, he didn't know where it came from. So that's
Nice.
like DeFi plus bull market there. You have money flying everywhere on these permissionless DApps. Yeah.
So from Aldrin Rabino in the chat again, thanks for looking this up, Aldrin. Mon, I don't know if you can verify this, but 6.3 million, 613 million Bitcoin transactions, reaching around 400,000 transactions daily in early January 2020.
Yeah,
Okay.
what I saw is similar to, but there's a bit of a like caveat here. You can combine transactions, right? So there are exchanges that they send one huge like 100 people or something. So
Right. Yeah.
but
Yeah.
you know, more or less, I suppose. This is okay.
Yeah, okay. Wala, we don't really have a perfect comparison. So, okay, guys, just in case you didn't get what Ramon was saying, the difference kasi with Bitcoin transactions, you can batch them. You can do a single Bitcoin transaction on the blockchain. It will send to like 100 people. And that makes it a little weird to do a straight up comparison between Etherscan and a Bitcoin number of transactions. Sorry, between Ethereum and Bitcoin number of transactions, because with Bitcoin, because you can batch it, the more sophisticated the exchanges become, the more likely it is that all of the transactions on the Bitcoin blockchain are just batches. So it's kind of hard to tell exactly what's going on there. So anyway, so back to what Chris was saying. Uniswap, number one by far. According to this, they're about 17% of the, what is this? 17% of all the gas paid.
Yeah.
Something like that is just going to Uniswap. And then 7.7% of all the gas paid is going to Tether. And then right under that is 1inch. So yeah, DeFi's and Tether and USD. So it's basically DeFi's and stablecoins. Now those are basically kind of the two largest users of Ethereum right now, at least in the top five. The one thing I'm very glad for, like looking at this list right now, I don't see any Ponzi schemes. Like there's no Forsage, there's no Million Money. Like at least that, no, at least we can be grateful for that. Mostly because they've all moved to Tron. I think that's happened there. So they've stopped polluting the Ethereum chain with their stuff. So okay, why on the right side you've got ETH Gas Station naman. So ETH Gas Station is another site. Does it do exactly the same thing as Etherscan's gas tracker? Is that what this site does?
Both are just trying to estimate it for you, but they're just ordering it differently. It depends at what point they take it, right? They're not taking it at the same millisecond, getting that the same gas quote. If you look at MetaMask, you do the same transaction in the span of 2 seconds, just reject it each time, you'll see it has a different gas quote. So that thing is fluctuating all over the place. It's like surge pricing, right? It's just supply and demand. Like how many people are sending transactions versus how many miners are processing those transactions, who's paying the highest price. So it just super fluctuates. But they are trying to do the same thing. They're just saying, hey, you should go faster, make it bigger. That's it. Yeah.
Right. So okay, can you just like describe just as simply as you can why? So when we're talking, so the numbers that are here. So on the ETH gas station, it says 229 for traders. So that means that if you're trading, you need to be willing to pay at least 229 gwei. Is it gwei or guai? I always forget like if it's gwei or guai.
I in my mind I hear it as gwei, so I don't know if there's a standard.
Okay, right. Yeah, okay. But it's after they named it after Wei Dai, diba? The Chinese cryptographer. Is that what
I think
that is
so. From? Yeah, I actually don't know the reasoning behind that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway, so that was my understanding. So I thought, was it pronounced Gui? Anyway, so you need to pay 229 if you want it to happen ASAP. And you can give yourself a small discount. What is this? About 20% if you want it to be done in 2 minutes. And then if you can wait 5 minutes, it's actually not a very long time though. 5 minutes is still that's a pretty acceptable amount of time. It's like in Bitcoin, like that's still not even the length of a single confirmation. So I guess it kind of, it's interesting na yung definition nila of standard is still quite fast.
Well, it depends what you compare it against. If you're talking about like say an e-wallet that you're used to just sending without a problem, then it's pretty bad, and that's what people complain about. Like whenever my friends ask me, "Hey, why is this taking so long? Why is it so hard?" I'm like, "Well, ETH1 wasn't built for consumers," is what I always say. It was built for people to build, second, third layer apps on top. So you're interacting with the engine right now, and you're tweaking the gears manually, but you're not driving the steering wheel, and which is why you have to deal with these gas fees, etc. Because you shouldn't have to deal with this. It should be like an algorithm in the back end, retrying your transaction. If it fails, tries again, etc. In
the chat, Arvin is saying gas fees vary. on the complexity of the transaction. That's correct, but like I wonder if you could like explain that a little bit, because like you were talking earlier that you spent about $100 on a smart contract. I know that when I transfer ETH to whatever Bloom, which is where I liquidate my ETH, I guess, like I don't spend $100 for sure. I spend like maybe $5 right now. It's not that expensive. Yeah. So can you kind of just describe what's going on there?
Yeah, so what you're paying for is essentially, if you're interacting with, let's say, a smart contract, you're paying for storage and processing time, essentially compute resources on the world computer, which is what Ethereum is, right? So instead of paying, let's say, if you've ever used an app, the app developers are paying AWS subscription to use their server. Here, you're paying it, not a subscription, you're paying per transaction. So if you use a D app, you have to pay the smart contracts usage on the blockchain. So the more complicated the transaction is, and that's true, what the viewer mentioned, then the more gas it costs, the more ether you burn. Because ETH, you mentioned your ETH transaction, your native ETH token transaction wasn't a lot. That's because you're just sending ETH and not really doing a whole lot of computation there. So that's it. You're just renting server space, essentially, to oversimplify it. And the more computations you do, then So if you chain DeFi transactions, then you pay a lot of gas. But you can batch them now, so that's better, but not everyone does it right away. So,
okay. Michael Vincent in the chat is saying the problem is if the transaction did not push through, the gas fees will not be returned. Is that correct? I've never actually observed that myself.
Well, actually, it's sort of like it either gets spent or it doesn't. So if your transaction is not processed, it doesn't take the gas fee associated with it. But it does take the gas fee to sort of get to a certain point until it fails. So it won't take the whole thing, right? That's quoted on MetaMask or whatever. So it's like if I do 1 + 1 and then 2 + 2, if it fails at 1 + 1, it burns the gas to execute 1 + 1, and it doesn't execute 2 + 2 because it reverted by then. So that's it.
So does it typically happen to complicated or to I guess more complicated smart contracts?
Yeah, the farther down you get down processing the transaction, then the more gas you burn. But at the time it reverts, then it undoes the state change, sort of. So if your balance is 5 and the other person's balance is 10, it will process to get to that 10. But if it reverts, it just won't send the money, but it will charge you for that little processing time that it did.
Okay.
Chris, just one question. What's the use case of a complex transaction? Like what's actually happening?
Yeah. Okay.
Give an example.
So if we use DeFi as an example again, we can go to others later. So let's say I wanna, let's say I have DAI, right? Let's say I wanna send my DAI to someone, and then that person would then stake it in, let's say Compound to get a savings rate. Sorry, 2 people is a bad example. Let's use 1 person. So let's say I receive my DAI from another person. I pay no gas. I just received it. I then stake in Compound to earn a savings rate, let's say 10% a year. But let's say I want to take the token that I get from staking in Compound, and now we're going to yield farming, and I want to do something else with that, right? You do all that at once, and then that would be an expensive transaction. So if you want to visualize it, go to this site. I can drop it in the link. It's called Furu Combo. You can sort of stack DeFi transactions on top of each other, and then sort of do everything in one batch.
If you've got the screen, Chris, you can you can share. You can share.
Oh, I can. All right. And then I'll just for the share button, share screen. I hope I'm not sharing anything weird.
I'll just share your account.
Can you guys share? I closed it right before that. Can you guys see my screen? There we go.
Whoa.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah. All right.
Cool.
Yeah. So
nice.
so this is something I was trying to experiment with this a while back. So essentially, it's like the UI to DeFi, right? You just drag these little blocks, and then you can like do certain actions. So let's say I want to stake my ETH in MakerDAO and generate DAI. Then I can do that. So that's this little block here. But before that, you can see I borrowed this ETH in a flash loan from Aave. So,
of course you did.
and like I'm not good at this, right? So you'll see that there's no profit at the end because like I'm not doing it right. But I'm just trying to experiment and see what happens. So and you can explore.
I like that
and
UI.
then see
That's really nice.
Yeah.
Like it's a slick UI. Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And like I'm not advertising for them, right? I don't do anything with the project, but they launched a combo token like a few weeks ago, so that's nice.
Of course they did. And
you get and every time you do these blocks and you execute transactions, you get combo tokens in proportion to the volume you pass through it. So you can essentially like flash loan all this ETH, like and then get combo tokens for
Yeah.
What's a combo worth right now?
Yeah, what is the combo worth right now?
I don't know. I would search it on my dashboard thingy, but then I'll show my balance.
Yeah.
Why does it doesn't say anywhere here?
Wait,
In
let's
the
do
site
Ether
itself?
scan.
Yeah. You can do Etherscan.
Market cap.
Do you think it would be? Do you think it would be in
0.0015?
CoinMarketCap?
Yeah.
I'm sorry?
So what is it? 0.00.
Oh, there it is. There it is. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, they're pretty fast now, actually. CoinGecko
Oh.
and market cap.
Oh God, this is different.
It's a $21 million market cap.
$5?
4.78.
Yeah,
Pretty good.
yeah.
Pretty good.
So people are getting
Okay.
like, I mean, if you've never used DeFi before and you're watching, like people are getting like 300, 400% annual yield
Son of a bitch.
on this
Okay.
stuff.
Wow.
Just dragging these blocks around. So
Son of a bitch.
Yeah.
This is why nobody's doing the kimchi premium arb anymore. They're just doing this instead. Saves a lot on
Yeah,
travel,
maybe.
travel
Yeah, yeah.
fees.
Fuck, man. I mean, why bother? Like your eyes glued to the order book exchange 24/7. You could just do this. This is kind of
Yeah.
more fun. Jeez.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. And the
All
best
right.
thing is it won't go through if it doesn't pay back all the flash loans by the end. Meaning
Wow.
essentially if you're gonna lose money, it won't execute
Yeah.
it. I mean, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean it's an oversimplified way of
Oh.
putting it, but it's very elegant. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So when we were preparing for the show, Chris shared this screenshot with me. I barely understand it. Like I know that it's talking about like expense, like the most expensive times, or like to send Ethereum transactions. But I think the first question that it was in my head was, what's the time zone here? Is it GMT?
It adjusts it to your local time zone wherever you're viewing, or at least the link
okay,
I sent
right.
you. So this is
Okay,
our
okay,
time.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So can you talk
think,
us through
yeah.
this? It sounds like what it means is that Thursday brunch is the most expensive. Is that right?
I guess it looks like it. I mean, I don't have an explanation for that. I guess I don't know. I don't know. I guess Saturday people are like tired of losing money, and then Sunday, Monday, Tuesday they take a break, and then Wednesday they've recovered and they're trying to burn more gas fees and do more DeFi transactions. So
Wow. Okay. All right. Huh.
yeah,
Interesting.
yeah.
Sige. Okay, so let's walk it through just so everyone understands now. So this chart is attempting to show you the most expensive times to send
Submit a transaction. Yeah.
to the Ethereum network. And based on what we see here, Sunday and Saturday is cheap, right? Like almost the entire Sunday is like less than 100 gwei. What are you laughing at, Justin? What are you reading in the chat right now?
It looks like you're blurring something out. That's what somebody said.
Okay,
Nice.
so this is not my screenshot. It's Chris's screenshot.
Not my site.
It's one of those zoom
Wholesome show.
out to find out.
Yeah, wholesome
yeah.
show we run here.
Yeah, it's a very wholesome show. I
Sorry.
don't really know what else to say about that. Yeah, but anyway, so okay, guys, come on, we're trying to help you out with your with your Ethereum spending
Trying to
right
look
now.
for it. Kind of, yeah.
Yeah. So okay, so let's go through it again. Wednesday and Thursday, very expensive. Sunday and Saturday, probably the cheapest of the week. But you could probably get away with a few hours on Monday also that are not so bad, no? At least according to this. But anything anything above 100 gwei is pretty pricey na, no? I guess that's what it would end up being, depending on what people are saying.
Yeah,
What are the
yeah.
people in the chat saying? Hold on, I'm just gonna try to pull some of this stuff out because I want to like read some of these comments. So SLP will pump if there's many breeders, but not due to high gas fees. No one breeds because it will cost too much. Hope when Ronin Phase 2 comes, there will be breeders in that time. Then SLP will have high possibility to pump. But SLP actually did pump. It pumped this last week. That's why there were so many people selling to us. Parang we were at 1 peso and 50 centavos again.
Didn't Ronin launch?
Maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, I think I saw a tweet that they launched.
Okay. All right. Maybe that's it then. I don't know. Does that mean that there's free flowing SLP again? Because it did pump this last week. It was one of the big gainers. So
It
Well, I
did
mean,
like
I,
a 50% jump. I think around late last week,
yeah,
Friday or
right, yeah.
Saturday. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Like
50%.
I mean, I don't typically monitor SLP day to day, but Bloom notices kasi
Yeah,
when
like
SLP goes up because people start selling to us,
yeah,
and
and
like
it was
it's very
psychological for
very
Pinoys.
obvious.
It crossed 1 peso.
Yeah,
So
right.
yeah,
Exactly.
that was the
Exactly.
parang psychological. Whoa, crap! My SLP is 1 peso na.
Yeah.
Time
and
to ano,
So,
just
I
in
wouldn't
time for
imagine that.
Valentine's.
of course, of course. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't imagine that it pumped. Yeah, because like everything's on Ronin already. I would imagine that it's mostly hype. So I don't know. Will that crash
Mm.
back down? What do you guys think?
Well, it
Michael
has
Vincent is
already.
saying land pa lang yung nasa Ronin, so it's not the
Mm.
breeding yet, just just the land. Okay,
Mhm.
so yeah, actually, okay, so many people in the chat educating us right now. So there you go. Ronin Phase One launch, but only for landed
No,
items.
okay.
Phase One Ronin launch. Um, Waiting to affect fee consumption for breeders on next phase. Okay, yeah. So, the pump was a hype pump, right? I guess that's what it was. It was pre-hype, but not quite there yet. Okay, sige. Good to know. SLP strike at 1.8. I guess that was kind of the highest that we saw
Mm.
last week. Almost 2 pesos. You know,
Yeah, I
what's
saw
interesting is
75.
that
Yeah.
when we were first talking about SLP like last year, it was at 2 pesos. So actually, it dropped quite a lot over the last few months, and it was because as more and more people started using it, they were getting edged out of the market because the gas fees were so high and they couldn't afford to actually play the game anymore. So it was kind of a unfortunate, parang consequence of the high gas fees. But anyway, okay, so there you go, guys. This is our best effort at trying to let you know when to do your breeding. That actually kind of works, doesn't it? For this weirdly censored image. So when you're gonna do your breeding, do it on Sundays and Saturdays. That's the BloomCast.
Someday
That's the
this week,
BloomCast
guys,
advice.
do it with your SLP, right? Valentine's coming up, Follow
There you
this
go.
nice chart to save on your fees. Just
Um,
responsibly sell, okay?
yeah. Responsibly breed.
Responsibly
And
sell and breed, and yeah, all your
And if you're
potions.
looking for a place to liquidate your SLP, don't forget that BloomX does this.
Bloom, legit,
Yeah.
malinis.
There you go. Yep. That's what's so happening there. Okay, we're having way too much fun about this image that is unintentionally funny. Okay. Okay. Tama na. Like, we've got only 20 minutes left, and Chris has to do his thing about para.
my
So, Chris, there are other projects that are actually trying to solve the problem of the high gas fees. Can you talk us through what's going on here? So, ZK Sync and Loopring, they are two types of layer 2 projects.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yeah. Layer 2. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, was that my cue? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if you
yeah,
want to talk about it. Yeah.
Sure. Well, essentially, what this is like I don't know how familiar everyone is with layer 2, but essentially, the best analogy that I can come up with is that imagine that you're preparing your Ethereum transaction to send your friend, let's say 5 ETH, right? And instead of like submitting a transaction in MetaMask, you write it down on let's say a notepad, and then your friend you tell your friend, I owe you 5 ETH, and then your friend's like, okay, I'm gonna send my other friend 2 ETH, so we just write it down on notepad again. At the end of that, at the last transaction, we just put that all in one transaction and we send it to the Ethereum blockchain. That is exactly what these layer 2 stuff are sort of doing in an oversimplified way, but ZK Sync is the notepad is a smart contract. So
Okay.
you'll deposit your ETH in that smart contract. Okay, so ZK Sync is the left one. I was thinking it was one image. So yeah, you deposit your ETH in ZK Sync. You'll just show you a nice wallet. I don't know if we have a link there. And essentially, you can just send to anyone with an Ethereum address. And when people want to withdraw, that's when they sign the expensive transaction on the blockchain. So ZK Sync gives you 1/100th of an Ethereum transaction every time you send or receive. So it's much cheaper. Yeah. So,
1/100th of the cost, you mean, of the cost?
Yeah. So let's say a gas fee, let's say an Ethereum transaction was like, what, 0.01 ETH? generally you can put that down to 1/100th. Yeah.
Yeah, so this is actually conceptually very similar to Lightning, no?
It's same thing. You do it off chain, then you commit the transaction afterwards. Yeah. Not exactly the same, right? But yeah, same goal. Yeah. Loopring, for example, is something that's built on something similar. Yeah, it's called ZK rollups or zero knowledge rollups. It's just a way to make that notepad mechanism secure, so that the transactions, while they're off chain, are still as secure as if they were on mainnet. So what you see on the right side is it's sort of like Uniswap, but it's on layer 2, something like that.
Yeah, Chris, I like
I see
your
because
layer
with
2 analogy.
Lightning because I guess with Lightning they use multisig, and here it's not multisig. It's something else, right?
Yeah. It's really just something not committing to the blockchain right away. Usually you'd have a server, and then that just stores the transactions and then sends it out after. But here it's a smart contract, and it's completely like your wallet works with it, whether or not it's on whether or not you have balance in it. Yeah.
Chris, I wanted you to respond to this one viewer comment. So IBC, or actually, you know what? This is the first time I've ever seen this acronym, Inter-Blockchain Communication.
I think that's from
the
Cosmos. Is that from Cosmos, Ken? I'm not sure.
Okay. Is it from Cosmos? Okay.
Yeah.
So it will solve the high gas fee problem. Interoperability is the solution, in my opinion. What do you think about that?
Yes. But it's not really, what is the interoperable solution? Because there's so many, right? There's Polkadot, there's Cosmos. You can do whatever you want. You can put it in a server, then throw it out Ethereum blockchain after. It's a question of, will people move their money out of Ethereum for a faster chain? And the answer this year has been no, not really. I mean, the question is, how do you replicate the DeFi annual percentage yields, the interest you gain outside Ethereum? It's pretty hard because it's not just the money that's there; it's the money Lego, right? So, like to give an example, how can I give a good example here? MakerDAO, who built DAI, the entire mechanism to build that, they had to do it all from scratch. But if you wanted to build MakerDAO now, you could leverage like 3 different protocols and just have yours up in like a fifth of the time. So the fact that it's easier for developers to build there and the money's all there means people are not moving away from Ethereum anytime soon. So I think interoperability will help, but it depends. How can those chains that build apps on the other side of that bridge incentivize the liquidity and the developers to move? So you'll have to do that by spending a lot more money. Yeah.
As far as I can tell, the only substantial money that has moved off of Ethereum is the Ponzi's, right? Because they couldn't afford to keep doing their scams on Ethereum anymore. But everyone else has kind of stayed it, even with the very high gas fees. Parang people have kind of stuck around. So I wonder if there's a limit to that. I mean, I imagine there is some kind of limit there. But I guess it seems like for now we're going to stick around. So yung IBC is a Cosmos term. That's what you were saying.
I think so. If I'm not wrong, there, Ken. I think I was checking Cosmos out a while back, and I think they said IBC was one of their solutions.
Yeah, he said correct.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So the goal of Cosmos is to build, you could say, different blockchains for specific use cases, but they all sort of speak the same language, meaning you can build a bridge between them, no problem. Again, tech is great. But how are you going to move the developers and the money out of Ethereum? And the answer is you build an Ethereum bridge. So how do you build an Ethereum bridge? You need to be Ethereum compatible. Yeah. So, I mean, that's why layer 2 is taking off, because it has to be Ethereum compatible. So ETH2 and layer 2, how are you going to connect to those two things to move developers and money out of Ethereum to your little blockchain? Polkadot's answer is to approach it with layer 0. Meaning they outsource the consensus algorithms, everything. Cosmos' solution is inter-blockchain communication. It depends which one's going to win. So yeah.
Right. Okay. In the chat, Singrid is saying some say Ethereum will become the MySpace or Napster of cryptocurrency. They were popular in the early days, but as the market matures, they just die off. I
mean, well, that's a good way to think about it, but there's one other angle here is the greed. Like MySpace did not have a bunch of users with money in their wallets. So if you show me a 300% APY, which happens a lot every day in DeFi, why would I go to this random chain that doesn't give me 300% APY? I will spend $100 gas fee because I will get that money back in a month, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I can
how are you
see
going to
that.
do that? Yeah, yeah.
The inferior
So-
product wins out just because there's money there, right?
Yeah. People are willing to go over the hurdle of it. Like I have so many friends who are like learning to use MetaMask. They're like typing in the gas fee and the gas limit. And I'm like, why are you doing that? They're like, because it's 1,000% APY. So
There you go.
I'm like,
There
yeah,
you go.
okay, yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Michael Vincent in the chat is saying, so just like how people say that there are cryptos better than Bitcoin, but Bitcoin is still the largest, and institutions, companies are into BTC. Yeah, I guess that's also kind of similar in the sense that Bitcoin, of all of the cryptos that we've covered on this show, Bitcoin is the one that does the least in terms of the number of tricks it has up its sleeve. No, it only does really two things.
Yeah.
It can only transfer funds and store funds.
value,
That's all.
yeah.
And,
Yeah,
but like that's kind
it's
of enough.
just
That's
money,
kind of
money that it's trying to be, right?
right.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but I
Yeah.
think like with any market like effect, network effect. I mean, that it'll take, something will have to be 10 times better for it to and stay 10 times better, right? For a long time, for it to get market share, significant market share.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah, that's true. So I think that one of the things that Chris was saying earlier really resonates with me. Parang once you've got enough of the developer interest on a particular platform, it's very hard to get everyone to move because rebuilding those products is very non-trivial. No, so like you don't want to kind of move everyone over. Plus, you have to do all your marketing all over again, and you have to re-educate your customers all over again. It becomes harder and harder, and then you've got very positive incentive with the whole APY thing. So why would people leave anyway? Ganon. Anyway, so yeah, so in this case, just because the tech is slightly better doesn't necessarily mean it'll win out. There's
Exactly.
something else going on there. You can't just look at it from the perspective of just the technology. So anyway, okay. Any other thoughts, Chris, about so maybe like what you can do now. So if people want to save on gas fees, is this the kind of thing that they can look into right now? I mean, we've got a lot of Axie players in the audience. I guess this stuff doesn't work with that yet, no?
Well, it's like getting better, right? It's getting more generalized. So zk Sync is for payments, just transferring tokens. Loopring already has an exchange. It'll get better and better. I mean, for games like NFT games, etc. I think they'll move into their own chains. I think so. So Ronin, I agree with that move. But if you're just sending each other money, just use zk Sync.
Okay.
So one thing that's coming up, like for example, synthetics, they are already on layer 2. So it's just going to keep popping up. And the gas guzzlers, once Uniswap moves to layer 2, and they already have a demo on layer 2, once they get onto layer 2 with their version 3 result, I think it's going to be soon, then a lot of the Ethereum gas fees will just drop. Like the demand for like nodes processing transactions will drop. Just Uniswap. Tether is already moving to other chains in layer 2 as well, so that's going to drop significantly. Then when ETH2 comes in, you'll have that magnifying effect on top, or should I say more scalable effect on top. So it's going to get better pretty soon.
We constantly make fun of Justin Sun and Tron, but like it's because of Tron's subsidies on Tether that like we're able to send Tether for free. Right? So like if you are on an exchange or using a wallet that supports Tether via Tron, I completely recommend that you just do it that way because it's free right now, right? I mean, why wouldn't you use it? And it allows kind of this stuff to just flow in a few more different places, I guess.
Yeah, and that's the example of having to spend more money to attract users away from Ethereum. So if you're a project like what Justin Sun's trying to do, you're gonna have to spend more money than the liquidity rewards on Ethereum now. So you're gonna have to raise more money for your project to give people more free money to go away. So that's not
that being
sustainable.
said, he's pretty good at raising money, that guy.
He is. Yeah. But if you're not Justin Sun, who started your own blockchain, that's not really
makes it pretty
transferable.
Tricky. Yeah. Fair enough. Okay, so we're kind of coming to the end of the show. We've got about 8 minutes left. So I think we should probably do our raffle now, but do you... sige, Chris, like towards the end, I'll just ask you about what you guys are up to next and what we can look forward to from you guys. Let me do the raffle first.
Yeah, sure.
So let's do this. Share my screen. Here it is. There we go. Okay, how many comments do we have? We have 125 comments. Sorry, that's 125 commenters pala. So, okay, let's see if I can get my drum roll. So we're gonna draw, so here's how it works, guys. We're gonna draw 3 names. And then at the end of the show, we're going to post on Facebook, on our Facebook page, we're going to put the names of the 3 winners. And we need you to comment there in that post para we can find you more easily. Oh, by the way, quick story lang for the people in the chat. No, so Bloom recently discovered that there were now people impersonating the winners of our raffles. So they were actually creating fake Facebook accounts and attempting to claim the prize of the real winners. So holy crap, guys! We're not even giving out that much money, but like this is happening now. So we had like 2 attempts last week. And that's why we're trying to do it a different way now. I need you guys to comment on the Facebook post that Bloom will write right after this episode. Okay, so all right, so here we go. Drum roll, starting the raffle now. First name, here we go. Danico Santa Ana Alarcon. Congratulations, you are
Can't see
the
the
first
screen,
winner.
Luis.
Oh, sorry.
There you go.
There you go, Danico. Congratulations. Just leave a comment when we post about this after the show. Next winner. Hold on, sorry. Let me just make sure that I can store that name so I don't forget it. And okay, winner number 2. Action. This name sounds familiar. Has he won before? I can't remember now. Okay, anyway, so congratulations, Christian. Hopefully you've not won more than once. But I guess, yeah, probably not naman this year. So, okay, so you're winner number 2. Congratulations, thank you for watching. Last winner of the night. Here we go, winner number 3. I see Jimbo Texon. Congratulations, you are winner number 3. So everyone gets, in case you're wondering, because I actually forgot what to announce what the prizes were this week. So we're just giving away 1,000 pesos in Bitcoin each to our 3 winners. Obviously, if you are using either Binance or Paxful, we would prefer that you give us those addresses because that means the transactions are free. But if you
we
don't,
should do
that's
it
fine
on
too.
Lightning already.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't have people. Okay, sige, fine. We'll do one episode. We'll do one episode for sure. Well, we'll use Lightning.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
fine. I promise.
Yeah.
Let's do that. Actually, you know what? Let's do that for the end of this season. So that's late March. Para ano?
It's super
got a
easy, I
nice,
promise.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fine. All right. We'll do that. We'll actually do that this time. So, okay, congratulations to Danico, Christian, and Jimbo. Thank you for watching. As always, tell your friends if you are learning stuff from the BloomCast, if you like hearing us talk crap about BDO, and nice things too. We say
Or
nice
if you like
things about
censored,
other
censored
things.
content.
You like censored pictures. yes. That's this is the BloomCast. Chris Verceles, where can people find out about what you and HaloDAO are doing these days? What can we look forward to from you guys?
Yeah, well, actually, we'll be launching our community channel soon. So watch out. Just follow our Twitter, join our Telegram, and you'll see all that at halodao.com. You can also find me and the team in the Crypto PH channels. Yep, we're just hanging out there. So easy place to find us. So yeah, you won't find me if you add me on Facebook. I will probably not reply. I'm social media allergic, so don't look for me there.
There you go. So you have to send him some Ethereum, and he will definitely reply.
That would work. That would work. I'll
Okay.
trace your address just to say thank you. So
Yeah, nice. Ramon Tayag, do you want to take us out?
Yeah, so please check us out at bloom.solutions. We're on Paxful as well. So goodbye from Batangas. That's why my connection's not as good.
Oh, I didn't realize you were in Batangas tonight. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Everyone, it was great to talk to Chris tonight. We learned a lot. I actually learned quite a bit from, and I agree. I echo the comments in the chat. We learned a lot. I thought your analogies were pretty cool. Thanks so much for your time, Chris. We really appreciate it. We'll see you all again next week.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah. All right.
Thanks,
Good night,
everyone.
everyone.
Thanks, Chris.
Bye.
thanks.